be sent out eventually once we get it through communications approval. I just want to say good morning to everyone again. And happy Tuesday. The Department of Education don't have a whole lot to report this morning, but we do want to bring you up to date that we thank everyone for uploading their carryover budget. And just want to remind you that that all expenditure reports for funds spent by the end of the fiscal year, June the 30th, 2023, and we are coming up on the fiscal year. In fact, the department is preparing to close out the fiscal year. They are due to the department by August the 15th, 2023. Goods and our services received by June the 30th, 2023 must be invoiced, paid, and claimed by August the 15th, 2023. And there is no exceptions to that. So if you have any questions on that, please give me a call, email, so we can talk about that. But that's usually handled through your finance department. The other thing is we are working on our no-cost extension to send out to SAMHSA for approval. We'll be meeting with them regarding that in July. And we have to have it submitted in July, right, Beatrice?
Yep, that's right.
So they're giving us a whole lot of time to ask questions.
Yeah, not a lot of time to ask questions, and for the fact that it's supposed to be submitted by July 31st, but the grant funds are due to end on September 29th, so we may not be informed about whether or not they approve the no-cost extension until August, which to me is a little bit in the 11th hour in terms of notifying people. And so I apologize for that. If there was anything else that we could do to rush that, we would. And we are going to ask if there's something we can do to expedite that process and let people know more in advance when we have our call with our government project officer next month. But currently where it stands, we may not have that information until we're a little bit closer to being down to the wire than what we'd like.
Are there any questions for us, the Department of Ed? For Beatrice, all right. If not, we'll move right along to Dave. Yeah. You're on mute, Dave.
Good point. That helps, doesn't it? Yeah, so I think this is just a pretty quick, brief update. We've been working on getting together the initial summary reports of the staff and parent surveys that we get out pretty quickly to the state and to the LEA coordinators, and that was completed. We are now working on trying to organize the staff open-ended responses into to where they're organized more by themes and can be worked with a little more easily and used and are a little more usable. And so that's the next thing we're working on. And then we turn with those to putting together the more full and complete reports that we do that compare information across years, et cetera, and lay things out in more of a true report format. And so we'll be turning our attention to that soon. So that's where we are with those surveys. This year, we also did the student survey. certain surveys. That was done within Anderson too. And we've done the basic reporting back to them of those findings and talked with Teresa about how best to sort of organize that into a more formal report that might be helpful and useful for the district. And we have that input, and we'll be turning our attention to that soon as well. So those are the survey reports. In addition, one of the huge things that happens each year at this time is the interviews. Elaine does somewhere between 40 and 50 interviews or so. About 3/4 of those are with school personnel in the 3 districts, and the good news there is that almost all of those are completed at this point. Elaine's just wrapping up a final couple, I believe. So that's in good shape, especially given that the school year ends very soon. So we seem to be in good shape on that, and the attention will turn then to the annual interviews with you all as project partners at the state level. And so that's the next thing we'll be turning attention to. So those are going fine. And then maybe the other thing that's worth noting is just there's the ongoing work that we've been doing to try to be of assistance to the state and to Bob in thinking about ways in which the state, from the state level, there could be assistance with sustainability issues. So we recently just concluded conversations with each of the LEA coordinators around their better understanding their plans around those things. And we're now in a process of reflecting on that. So I think that's it in terms of the basic update.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Are there any questions for Dave? If not, we'll move on to Department of Mental Health. Lynell, you see, I almost said something else.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have hired 3 clinicians, this grant year, in the Sumter and Florence areas. We're still trying to backfill our other positions that were vacated as well. We are seeing sort of a decline in some of the referrals in Sumter and Sumter and Anderson areas. Florence is experiencing like a lot of referrals. So that is a good thing there. But we do, recognize that there are some other providers in the Sumter area now that there weren't before, and we do still have a shortage of clinicians there, so that could likely be the reasons for those referrals. But that is some of the changes that we've been seeing. Anderson was able to have their assist training in April on the 25th and 26th, and that went very well from my understanding. And each of the areas are also working on dates to do their Safe Talk training before the grant year ends, hopefully. Of course, this is a month that we are, it's Mental Health Month, so there are lots of activities going on around the state in all of our centers regarding the importance of mental health and mental health awareness. So, so if you are in a county, we encourage everyone to participate in the activities that are happening at their local mental health center as well. I don't think I really have anything else. If anybody has any questions they want to ask. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
Hearing none,
Okay.
are you reporting for suicide prevention also? Jennifer, I see she's not on the call.
I think Jennifer is on leave this week, but I mean, basically, we're working together to coordinate the trainings for Assist and Safe Talk. So, and we've met with some of the areas to trying to collaborate on getting those together.
Okay.
Mhm.
If there are no questions for Linnell, I see Deanna and Roland. Federation of Families, you're up next.
Hello. Yeah, so one of the main things that I guess wanted to update on, and I mentioned this last time as well, was about our wellness boot camps. We have finished the flyers and our registration is open for that. Our first camps are going to be in Sumter, and that is going to be on the 5th through the 9th. That'll be the first camp, and then the second Sumter camp will be the 12th through the 16th, and that's of June. And those go from 9:30 to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. And we're going to be having those at the Santee Watery Mental Health Training Center. And the flyers, I sent those along with last month's report. If anybody needed those, and if you still don't have access or needed the registration link, you can reach out to me and I can send those over as well. But that was the main thing.
I'd like to see the flyers. If you could email me a flyer, I'd appreciate it.
Okay,
But this is
Kathy, they was
Debbie
included.
speaking.
The flyers were included with the minutes that just come out from last month. I can send it to you again if you need it. And that applies to anyone that didn't receive it, but it was attached to the minutes from last month. If there are no other questions. We have 2 new people on board. For NAMI, Bill, I know I saw you come on. I'm not sure if you wanted to introduce them or you want me to do it. If you're speaking, Bill, you're on mute. Okay, we do have Laura Moss, who's interim right now, but she will be taking Anna's place. She will be replacing Anna, who's no longer with NAMI and with the AWARE grant. And we are happy to welcome Laura on board. And we do have Amanda, who's there to help. And we welcome Amanda to the AWARE partnership. And at this time, you have the floor.
Okay, well, thank you for the welcome. It's nice to see everybody's faces with the names because I've heard the names and received emails and sent reports. So it's really nice just to see everyone. And thank you for welcoming me and helping this transition. We have 3 districts, Anderson 2, they have been doing quite a few community events, tabling events at Palmetto Middle School, ANMED Cancer Center, doing resource tables, and presentations are pending with both of those schools and centers to do ETS programming. We do have a new volunteer from Anderson University who has completed their training and is going to be one of our young adults. So that's exciting because sometimes to get young adults to do presentations can be difficult for us. In Florence 1, we scheduled some mental health awareness tables and presentations at John W. Moore Middle School. And those were ran actually earlier this month. And also working with the 6 of the Florence area high schools regarding our Goal Line Green project, and some presentations for end of the year, working with the seniors, senior send-offs before they graduate. In Sumter, we have had 3 in-person presentations at Lakewood High School, which brought us about 60 students for that presentation, and working for another presentation before the end of the school year in that. I also sent out, I know the flyers that Deanna was speaking about, the youth wellness boot camps, to each of my coordinators in those districts, and they are going to be reaching out to see how they can work with maybe some of those boot camps and getting students signed up for those camps.
I can join in for a second. I'm sorry I had to leave. I have the great pleasure of having a gas leak at my house, and so I've got
Oh,
people.
no.
I have people working on that as we speak. That's right as right as you introduced NAMI, I was having to meet the guy at the front door. I want to thank everybody that was at the Myrtle Beach conference. I think that went really well. I'm sure Bob will talk about that in detail when he gets his turn, but I just wanted to mention that, and had a really productive session with several people, including Kathy, that grabbed me at breakfast one morning, and she was singing the praises of doing the Ending the Silence program through the Department of PE class, I guess, and not taking away from classroom time. And she was thinking that was a good model for us going forward. So appreciate that, all that insight, Kathy. And for those that I was going to do more of an introduction for Laura and Amanda on this call. I guess I don't know if I did that very well last time or not, but Laura and Amanda are new to our team, and well, not new to our, they're new to Aware, not new to our team. They've been with us for a while, and just really excited that they're both doing the work that they're doing. And then again, thanks to everybody that was able to come out to Mental Health Advocacy Day. We had an incredible turnout, and we had more, I guess, legislators come and speak, I guess, than we had had before. I think we had somewhere about 10 or 12 that we had lined up to speak, and then everybody that kept coming from the offices up to the State House ended up coming by and saying a few words. So it was, we had a captive audience, I think. Thought it was really well. And I won't say anything else unless anybody else has got a question for me.
If no questions for NAMI, then we'll move on to Bob.
Okay, how's everybody doing today? Thanks for that intro there, Bill. I appreciate it. So I will start out with the conference. I have several things to talk about, so I will try to keep them separate from each other and not run them all together. First, obviously, it was a conference. I want to thank everyone for being there. Very successful this year. Between in-person and virtual attendees, we had roughly 1,000 people participating this year, which is really fantastic. As particularly want to thank everyone for attending the pre-conference. As you know, the Mental Health Technology Transfer Center is the professional advising and training group for Aware. And they sponsored that pre-conference on Wednesday. And I want to tell you that they were very pleased with the results there. Dr. Cummings and Dr. Borberly and those folks were very, very happy. And I want to thank everyone who attended. I think it was well worth the time. So thank you so much. The conference itself went on well. Now, I will tell you this, just sort of planning ahead. Obviously, our Aware grant is coming to an end. The the conference is a Southeastern conference and other states are continuing with AWARE, we will continue to have an AWARE pre-conference at the Southeastern Conference every year. So I'm saying that to you, even though our AWARE will officially be over, we want to make sure that, and we will continue to communicate with you about that for next year. That's a long way off, but I just want you to know that you will certainly be invited. And we're going to see if we can find some ways to continue to fund AWARE districts in South Carolina as part of the sustainability plan. If we can't be part of the plan, the conference itself will find some way to continue to have you there. So I just wanted to tell you that because AWARE goes away, I want to see everyone here continue to participate in the conference. It was a great tool to get folks there, but the conference will go on, and certainly AWARE's participation in it will as well. So just wanted to say that. The conference is scheduled again for next year in Myrtle Beach in April as well. And I don't have the exact date with me now, but you'll be getting information. The other thing I'd like to do is really give a shout out to Dave. As he said, doing a lot of work on sustainability. Beatrice and Dave have been doing a lot of work and spending a lot of time with the 3 LEAs. Thank you all. It's taken quite a bit of time. Dave is leading the effort, but I just felt like the time and effort going into that needed a shout out. They need to be recognized. We appreciated meeting with the partners last month as well, but the LEAs and Beatrice and Dave have spent a lot of time on this, and they just need to be recognized for that. Gertrude as well. Finally, we continue to do planning right now for PD for the summer and fall for next school year. Most of it is around PBIS in the classroom management, and some data problem solving PD that we're doing primarily in Sumter and Florence 1, but other PD is available as well. And so that's going well. And I think that concludes. Oh, I had one other thing I did want to mention, particularly since Suzanne is on the call today. There is another initiative that is starting from the National Center for School Mental Health. And if any of these LEAs here would like to participate, or our partners would be like to be on the steering committee, some of you are actually, there's an initiative for a learning collaborative to get together to provide professional development, online professional development around mental health in the schools. For the next school year, that is free. There's no money attached to it, but it's an opportunity for some of your schools that might need some professional development around implementing effective mental health in schools to continue to work with the National Center and attend some trainings. So I wanted to make you aware of that. If you have interest in that, contact myself or Suzanne Snyder, and that is both for partners and for LEAs for the local districts. And I will stop there. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Bob. PBIS. Are there any questions for Bob? If
Bob,
there's
is
no
the conference still available online?
Yes, you should be able to get it for 90 days. I will double check that. You should have a link that you can go and see all of the pre-recorded and recorded sessions, but I'll get that link out to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Good question, Linnell.
Yeah, I was trying to access it before. I wasn't able to get on, so.
It's a 90-day time frame, so we're still within that window. So let me go and check and see. I'll find out. Get it to you.
Okay. Thank you. Teresa, I know Teresa is joining us by phone today. Anderson,
good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Just wanted to reach out and say thanks to PIRE again and all that they're doing to help with just collaborating and pulling together all the data for our school district administrators to see so they can see what we've done, but also in the direction which we're headed. So thanks for that. enjoyed the conference and the opportunity with MHCTC. Great opportunity with them, so thanks for that. And looking forward to next year with you. It was a great start with Project Aware, but that's a tradition I hope to continue in our district, is having people go there. Great information, great connecting, and things of that nature. We did have the assist training at the county library, and that was really worked out well once it all finally came together, because a lot of different agencies and organizations sent people to that, so that was good. NAMI, I want to collaborate with whoever the person is in our area. I think I've sent a couple of emails to different ones that may not be with us any longer, so I will update whoever my contact person is and just reach out about ending the silence. That is something we definitely want to continue in our health classes through our PE initiative as well. So that's something our middle schoolers are very interested in it as well. I think we've been mostly using BHP, our high school, but we want to make sure we go back to our middle schoolers as well. And they've been asking about that for next year. Boot camp, thanks so much for the flyers for that. I've been sending that to my mental health counselors, our school counselors, and just having our principals share that out in their newsletter for parents to know that it's an opportunity for students to participate in. And I really think that's about it with District 2. Thank you.
Teresa, this is Amanda. If you want to send me any messages, Laura and I will make sure that gets seen through. So yeah, we'll check in on that and keep that rolling for you.
Okay, thanks.
Great. Any questions for Teresa Anderson too? And you're up next, Jamie, Florence 1. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Good morning to everyone. I do not have a lot to report this morning. I will say many of the school-based therapists for my district did attend the school behavioral health conference at the beach. A few of them attended in person. Most of us attended virtually, but it was positive feedback received from everyone about good information that they gained from the conference. And they're looking for more of them want to go actually in person next year. It was very good. We are mainly just working on transitioning our students out for the summer, working on providing parents with resources so the students that really need counseling over the summer will receive that. Our art therapy program is going to be expanded next year to 5 schools, one of which will be a middle school. So we're very excited about that. Finally, Mental Health Awareness Month. Many of our therapists are doing great things in their schools. Heard someone mention earlier about NAMI being at Moore. So that particular school-based therapist had NAMI there. They also had a RV van from DMH at the school as well. So that's basically all I have to report. Just short and sweet this morning.
Okay, any questions for Jamie, Florence 1? I see you getting in shape, Kathy. You're up next. You're on mute, Kathy. You're on mute.
Oh, got it.
Okay.
My report is pretty much a repeat. I wanted to thank Bob for working with me to get all 11 of our participants that went in person from the district to the Southeastern School Behavioral Health Conference. Everyone was very enthusiastic about what they learned. And we had 4 that did it virtually. Also, the rural school-based mental health grants. I appreciate Tandem Health, which is a health clinic that I've been helping them working with a grant, providing support to get school-based clinics, but that's yet to be, to see if we're going to get it, but we've worked on the grant. I want to thank Santee Watery Mental Health for working and receiving the funds on Project Connect for our alternative schools. So I'm looking forward to working with them this summer and into next year. Also, working with Dave, I've asked for extra assistance to prepare some information for our leadership team to present to our board regarding the need for mental health positions in the district. And continuing to work out with the Health and Human Finance, South Carolina Health and Human Services agency to get counselors in our school district, school-based mental health counselors. We continue to work with Santee Walter Reed Mental Health, but I think we struggle with the need and the need to have support in the schools has been an ongoing issue for us. But also working with Elaine with the evaluation interviews. I hope we can get those finished in the next 2 weeks. I'll give myself 2 weeks, and maybe we'll be ready to have gotten those complete. So, and I want to thank everyone for the sustainability meetings, the time again that Dave and Bob both have put in to working on in that objective. So that's my report. Does it for today? Okay.
Great. Teresa, thank you. All right. Kathy Sumter, thank you. Any questions for Kathy with Sumter School District? We are moving quite quickly today. I see our directors on board now, Aveen Coleman. We welcome her into the meeting. If you have anything you want to bring, Aveen.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to say hello and want to say that the conference went very well. I enjoyed the sessions, actually brought some information back that I will definitely use moving forward. But good morning, and thank you for sharing your information.
Just to follow up, if anybody have anything else they want to bring out. I do want to thank everyone that attended the conference, and especially the pre-conference. So we have pre-conference. It was good to see South Carolina well represented. So we do thank you for that. Time is moving so swiftly, I forgot all about that. Was part of our reporting time period.
Gertrude, I had a question, and I guess it'll help me with planning for next year. What direction or what trainings has the State Department? Do y'all have a plan for next year that we could align with as far as in the school districts for mental health training or for issues related to mental health for the schools? Do you foresee yourself looking into some of the to offer trainings?
That's a great Suzanne question.
I'm glad you asked that question. We do have our state mental health Suzanne on board. We'll leave that between her and Aveen to answer.
Okay, thank you.
You want Aveen, I can answer it. So Kathy, I am putting together a lot of trainings actually that are going to be hopefully some with Federation of Families, some with NAMI, and then some other trainings around trauma-informed classrooms and behavioral trainings through Amy Dean, the behavior queen. That's too much to say. And then also some other, we've got the Education Business Summit going on this summer, but that's already full, unfortunately. But I have a repeat of the synergetic approach, the foundational, intermediate, and advanced, and that will be virtual starting in August again. More from the informational come out this summer. And then also a repeat of the Focused Minds education. And what they do are they do some trauma-informed literacy. They do some, say specifically what they do, strength-based holistic approaches to student wellness, more than triggered, moving from awareness to higher level of care. So that's like adolescent development versus unmet mental health needs, exploring steps in trust and resilient support. And then the trauma-informed literacy is the learn easy expressive writing and communication techniques to show students how to share their emotions and develop an ability to proactively intervene using asset-based trauma-informed equitable and restorative practices. So we do have a lot of stuff, a lot of trainings around mental health throughout the entire next year. And Kathy, please contact me with, ever if you don't get it, or if you need extra information, or if you're looking for things.
And Kathy, I just wanted, because I know that y'all wanted something with restorative practices. We just offered a few trainings already in March. And the newest one was the restorative conferencing on how to implement that in school. We'll be offering that again sometime this fall or in this spring. But we have a few trainings for the behavioral health, the behavioral threat assessments that are coming up during the summer months. We have already posted that information online. I will send Gertrude the link to that memo. It's a whole list of different safety trainings that's coming up that we are conducting as an office. So if you need that additional information and support, we definitely have that going. And I noted that you did note that you have an alternative school that's involved in a new grant. We also have that workshop, which is July 26th. It's a virtual workshop for alternative school educators as well. And we are sending that information out next week to the directors for that training. And of course, we still have spots for the ACEs training. Suzanne and I just met with the Children's Trust to discuss additional trainings, but they have like a bunch of slots left in July for the July training date that's held in Florence. If you would like information on that, we can definitely send that as well. And this is for people to become an ACEs trainer for your school district. So we're pretty busy, so we'll probably get some of that information to Gertrude so she can send it out to the group if you would like to register for those additional trainings.
And Kathy, one more thing, and this is for everybody, because I know Bob is probably going to talk about this, the School Behavioral Health Academy, those free modules, self-paced, the first one, all hands on deck, which is 90 minutes, which is a great overview for, in my opinion, everybody. And then you have some more intensive. You've got MTSS Core, Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Those are 8 hours a piece, but they are self-paced. The South Carolina Department of Ed we are doing renewal credits for that. So when people finish that, we have the ability to give those professional development renewal credits from South Carolina Department of Ed.
Yeah, there's another aspect to that too, Suzanne, and that is the Tier 3, the Tier 3 module within that. You should do all of them, but the Tier 3 is going to be mandated from DHHS for Medicaid reimbursement. So there's actually going to become a financial aspect to that that you're going to need to know about. So you will end up using the Tier 3 module because you'll have to get reimbursed, but the other modules are just as good and should be used by everybody. I also put in the chat Classroom Wise, which is again That's a SAMHSA, which AWARE is SAMHSA initiative. The center, again, from the National Mental Health Technology Transfer Center and its Center for School Mental Health. That's excellent as well. Just so you know, that's mandated in North Carolina. And there's some discussion here about having Classroom-Wise mandated here. It's an excellent tool, particularly for your classroom teachers. And so if you have problem finding materials, it's free, it's online, so you can use it at your leisure and make it fit your schedule. I'll stop there.
Bob,
this
you
is
also
Teresa
included
Phillips.
the DHHS Academy Online.
Yes, the DHHS. Suzanne and I are very involved in that. Is Academy Online, and I'll send the link. I think you've all received the link, but I'll resend the link to everyone again.
Okay.
We'll get it to you.
Hey, Gertrude.
Yes.
This is Teresa Phillips too. I just wanted to make mention. I don't know if Jamie and Kathy are connected because it's in different branches than what we do sometimes. But I know that Suzanne Snyder has a listserv that she sends out information. So if they're not connected to that, that may be a good option for you. It usually comes through our school counselors and the student services director, but getting on that helps you be informed of all those things that she is sending out. So that's helpful. And then also through the communications to the Department of Education, I know that that's a good resource. But I wanted to put a plug in also, and I know that I've been working on this in Anderson too, and it's gone very well. And if you, with the trauma sensitive piece, if you're not involved or don't know about Handle with Care, it's been a great opportunity for our district, and I can share that with you. But it's about just working collaboratively with our police departments that if some traumatic event happens outside of the school day, they have a system where they will send me the student's name and Handle with Care. And then that goes to the school and the people that need to know about it. We don't have any details. They've worked really hard with the confidentiality piece to make sure that we don't have information that we don't need to have. We just need to know that that child that may be coming in the morning may have had a traumatic event, and we need to handle them with care.
And thanks for mentioning that, Teresa. And this is Suzanne again, and I am one of the, I guess, I don't know what you call it, contacts for the Handle with Care for the Department of Ed. So we help, we can do like a information session with you and help you connect all the parts, set up the, get the information out. We have a monthly meeting where we have the points of contact, and there's some really good resources through the West Virginia Justice Center on Handle with Care. So y'all can, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to put my email in the chat just in case you don't have it. And if you would like to get on my listserv, you can just shoot me an email and I'll add you.
Okay, I know we've shared a lot of information. So if any of you was trying to take notes and didn't manage to get it all down, because there was a lot shared right there. Well, I want to remind you that this is a recording. And once I send it to Communications Department, you will be getting a YouTube link where you can go back through this and pick up anything you missed. So don't panic if you didn't get it all done. You're going to get it again. Any other questions or comments? If not, we want to thank everyone for your.
I was going to mention, Gertrude, that the Joint Council on Children and Adolescents, they're going to have a trauma-informed care training next week in Bishopville. That'll be at Chappelle Park Gymnasium. It's May 23rd. It starts at 8:30. Well, registration starts at 8:30 and the training starts at 9, and there are CEUs available for that training. So I'll send you the flyer for that.
Okay. I was just going to say, if you send me that flyer since it's next week, I'll make sure I go out today.
Yeah, there'll be other trainings happening across the state. So we do that collaboratively with the
Okay.
Joint Council.
Okay, if there's nothing else, we want to thank everyone for your time today and for your patience. Good to see everyone. And we hope you have enjoyed the rest of your day. Recording is stopped.
Thanks.